Welcome, my name is Valerie Nieves and I am a lifestyle counselor here at Uchee Pines. Today's lecture is exercise. Why should we exercise? We should exercise for life. You know, life here is different from what it was the last couple of years. It's different from last century. It's different from the ancient times. But today we're going to talk about why we should be active and its origins. In the past, people would be physically active in the country area. We all have some grandparents that would probably do some farming, things like that, more physical labor. But these days, we live where? Most likely we live in cities, areas where there's a larger population. And so we are accustomed to travel by bus, car, plane, train, when in the past we would do a lot more walking. Now, the Lord has given us this promise, and He's given us this history. It lets us know the importance of exercise in God's plan. Says Genesis 2:15, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. So a part of man's job was physical labor. It was included into it. These days, you'll see those two aspects of man's life separated. Usually people go to work, maybe an office job most of the time, and then after work, maybe they'll go to the gym. So those two things are separated. But here in God's plan, we see that those two were one. It was a part of God's plan for work and exercise to be done at the same time. There are many benefits to having an active lifestyle, and we are going to talk about that today, how it increases our vitality, how it increases our mood, our lifestyle, our health, our overall health. And we're also going to be talking about the hazards of having a sedentary lifestyle. You know, sometimes we could think that if we just sit back and just stay there, that it's not really going to affect us. But the amount of time that we do that after a period of time will actually weaken us. So let's take a man, for example. If a man or a woman choose to just sit there and not do anything active with their limbs, after a while, their limbs will grow weaker and weaker until the point where they probably won't even be able to use it anymore. Why? Because they have not been active and becoming stronger. And this can happen with men, children, women, and this can also lead for us to have degenerative diseases. So we're going to talk about these hazards. One of the things that inactivity or a sedentary lifestyle can do is it can increase the chances of having heart disease. When our bodies do not exercise enough, plaque will build up and the production of nitric oxide will reduce. Okay? Nitric oxide it expands the blood vessels. Okay? So when you do exercise, your blood vessels will actually release this nitric oxide, which will expand it, and it will make for the muscles surrounding the blood vessels to relax and increase that circulation. And we need that. We need that to be able to have great circulation. Means that we'll have greater quality of life. Diabetes. We also know that by having a sedentary lifestyle, you're increasing the chances of having diabetes. Why? Because with poor circulation, your body is not intaking, is not using that sugar properly. And we know that sugar is one of the sources of energy for our bodies. So being active will demand our bodies to use that sugar as energy. And if it's not being used as energy, then it will be stored as fat. Okay, and so we want to make sure that we're doing exercise because it will help us to reduce that fat in our bodies and will help us to increase the sensitivity of insulin. Osteoporosis. This is another condition that can be worsened or can be added to our life if we are not physically active. Why? Because our bones need to be made denser and they need to be made stronger, right? And by the pulling of the muscles on the bones, this helps for the bones to get stronger. And so physical activity will do that. And we need to exercise. What is another hazard? Well, cancer. by doing exercise, you can reduce the chances of having all kinds of cancer: prostate cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer. It could be anywhere from 40%, even more. I've seen statistics. And so helping our bodies to have a better circulation is going to increase our immune system by releasing more white blood cells, which are the disease-fighting cells in our bodies, and we want to have more of those guys out there to protect us from all kinds of diseases. So we need to be active. I know that right now maybe I sound like I am the exercise guru, but let me tell you, in the past I have never been a fan of exercise. My sister loves exercise, but for me, it's not until maybe 2 months ago that I decided that I wanted to have a change in my lifestyle, that especially with exercise, because I was implementing other laws of health, but the exercise, it was hard for me. I would force myself to make long distances, walk more, not bring my car to work, end up walking instead of driving, refusing rides along the way, just to get myself to move more. And then I had some encouragement from a friend. And from that moment, when I started to push myself and had that encouragement, I was able to see the benefits of exercise and the way it helps you to live a better life, and helps you to be in a better state of mind and accomplish a lot more and be in more joy. And so today we're just sharing with you the pros and the cons. Well, not really the pros and the cons, just the benefits and the effects of not having it. Another hazard of sedentary lifestyle is that it can actually increase your anxiety and your depression. And we know that these are two things that are very prevalent in the world today, and these are things that we're trying to avoid. So including more exercise will actually give us that peace, relaxation that we need, and be able to just know that just as we do the exercise, just as we take one step at a time, just as we put our effort into becoming stronger physically, we can also do that in other aspects of our lives. It just does that for us, and we'll see why. There's certain hormones in our bodies that are released when we do exercise that will do this for us. And it is so beautiful to know that the Lord has designed us in this way. Inactivity is as detrimental as smoking or having cholesterol levels. So there's a saying out there in the medical field that being sedentary is the new smoking. So the effects of the same can be compared to each other as detrimental. So we really need to get out there. You would be surprised what researchers are saying. Now, the benefits of circulation. So when you do exercise, you're increasing that circulation, right, to every part of your body. So let's consider these benefits that we have. It benefits our heart, right? We were talking about that before. And how does it do that? Well, it helps you to lower your blood pressure, okay? And we were talking about nitric oxide. So when you do that exercise, nitric oxide is released, right, in the blood vessels, and that's going to allow for your blood vessels to expand and that blood flow to flow freely. It's going to, reduce the stress on the heart muscles, and you'll be able to help your blood pressure to lower. And at the same time, exercise also battles the plaque buildup, okay? Physical activity not only controls that high blood pressure, but it also helps to battle that plaque buildup. It helps to improve the circulation, as we were talking about before, and it helps to promote clearer minds, better sleep, faster recovery from sicknesses and injuries. We know that if we can get a fresh source of blood to a certain area that is injured, you're going to bring health to that area. Why? Because blood comes with nutrition, right? It comes with oxygen and so many other things that we need, white blood cells, right, to be able to repair that area of the body faster. So better circulation, better healing process, a faster healing process. Again, it lowers cholesterol levels, decreasing then your chances of having a stroke or a heart attack. It increases the internal enzymes that move LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream and vessels to your liver. Exercise increases the level of HDL cholesterol while lowering LDL cholesterol. Furthermore, regular exercise helps to maintain a healthy weight, which is crucial in the fight against high cholesterol. As excess weight drops off, so does the levels of bad cholesterol in your blood. A heart attack, or a myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack, we said that, is the interruption of blood supply to a part of the heart, causing that part of the heart to die. So those cells of that area in the heart to die. This is most commonly due to occlusion or blockage of a coronary artery following the rupture of a vulnerable atherosclerotic plaque, which is an unstable collection of lipids or fatty acids, and white blood cells, especially the macrophages, in the wall of an artery. The resulting ischemia and oxygen shortage, if left untreated for a sufficient period of time, can cause damage or even death of that heart muscle tissue. So, as you can see, it is very important that we have proper circulation. Another benefit of having a great circulation is it helps to lower your heart rate at a resting point. So here's what the normal heart rate should be at a resting point. And here's a chart that'll let you know, depending on your age, right, how your heart rate should be at. And so if you see that your resting heart rate, the rate where you are just sitting down or just resting, just laying down, is at 100 or higher, then that means that your heart is working a lot harder than it should be. That means you have maybe poor circulation. You need to be more active to be able to bring that number down so that your heart is not working as hard just to get circulation moving through your body. Now, as we mentioned before, there's so many benefits to exercise, and one of them is mental benefits, right? What are the mental benefits? It helps to give you enthusiasm. It helps to give you a zest in your life, right? Zest up your life. It gives you encouragement. It makes you want to do more things that maybe before you weren't really wanting to do because you didn't have the energy, but now suddenly you have this boost, this natural boost. And your mind feels clearer. It helps to give you an overall sense of well-being. It makes you feel good. We were talking about the endorphins that your body releases, the hormones that your body releases, right? And we define endorphins as powerful hormone-like substances produced in the brain that function as the body's own natural painkillers. You never thought exercise could be actually a painkiller, right? Well, let me tell you a little bit more. During exercise, there is a release of endorphins. And in the body, this is something that is capable of producing feelings of euphoria and a general state of well-being. The feeling produced can be so powerful that it can actually mask pain. So it's wonderful. Exercise really has so many benefits. It increases energy, it increases efficiency, it increases endurance. And it won't let you down. Let me give you an example, something that happened to me. So last session, I was one of the counselors that were here on the center, but I was one of the counselors that stayed overnight. So I was a resident lifestyle counselor for that session. And there was one day I was just so exhausted. And it was, let's say, I think it was 2 in the afternoon, maybe 3 in the afternoon. And I was like, Lord, I don't have energy to finish the day. And I have to be back to work in a couple hours. And I have to be up. And it's going to be a long, long night. And I do not have any ounce of energy to be able to make it. And I said, if I don't do something, that's it. I don't know how this is going to get done. And at that moment, I said, well, I'm going to have to do exercise because exercise gives you energy, it gives you endurance. And so usually maybe someone might think, well, just take an energy shot or drink a cup of coffee or do something like that, right? Drink a can of soda or something like that with caffeine. But at that moment, I decided, let me do exercise because I knew that would give me the energy that I needed. So I went to the gym, I worked out just 20, 30 minutes, and that gave me enough energy to be able to work the rest of my shift, sleep well, and be in the morning refreshed. which usually when you take some type of, coffee or whatever, it will give you an energy rush for just a couple hours and then it'll drop you. Exercise does not do that. And it didn't do it for me. Outdoor exercise is one of the most valuable weapons known to fight off depression. Exercise increases levels of serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. These neurotransmitters have been associated with elevated mood. So besides these regular release of these serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine, when you do exercise outdoors, you're also receiving the sunlight, and we know that sunlight also helps with reducing blood pressure, also helps with depression as well. It brightens up your life. It really does. Exercise, as we mentioned before, will help you to manage stress better. There'll be situations that you thought you wouldn't have been able to handle, but because you've been active, you will have less tension and you will be able to face the situations with a clearer mind and not so depressed. It also helps with the quality of sleep. If you, let's say you're about to go to sleep tonight, you take 30 minutes to an hour right before you're going to go to sleep, and you can go out and take just the light walk. That will help your muscles to relax, your mind to relax and unload. And then when you come back to rest, it'll just help you to have a better sleep. There are so many benefits that you can have or receive from being physically active. Like we all know that it helps to lose weight or maintain a certain weight that you want to maintain, or gain weight if you want to gain weight. It also helps to improve your metabolism. Even hours after you've done exercise, you can receive the benefits of an increased metabolism, which will eventually help you to lose weight if that is your goal. It also helps you to boost your immune system, right? Because with a better circulation of your blood, you're having a better circulation of the white blood cells that are coming out, right? To have your body be at a better disposition towards any diseases that might want to attack, or viruses or bacteria or anything like that. It also helps when you have cancer. A lot of times your immune system is suppressed. So one of the best ways that you can boost your immune system is by doing exercise. We spoke about how exercise helps to lower your insulin resistance. And so if you combine your cardio exercise along with weight-bearing exercise, that's going to be a plus. Why? Because when you add the weight-bearing exercise, you're going to demand more energy from your body. Demanding more energy will require you to use more of that stored glucose in your body, in your cells. So having that cardio, but then adding that weight-bearing exercise will just really increase your ability to control your glucose level, and will help you to stabilize. We spoke about how it helps with your bones as well, build stronger bones. And it'll also help so that you can retain and deposit calcium and minerals in your bones as well, which we know that after a period of time, we start to have frail bones, and that is because we need to be more active. There are other reasons why you can have frail bones, but this is just one of the ways that you can strengthen your bones, because sometimes we're thinking, what can I possibly do besides just eating certain foods? Well, we need to feed ourselves correctly, but we also have to be active with it so that our bodies can use that nutrition properly. So what kind of exercise? We mentioned cardio, we mentioned weight-bearing exercises, right? But what kind of exercise will give me all the benefits that we have just mentioned in the past? Well, one that is simple and most anyone can do, most anywhere in the world where you're at, and it is safe, inexpensive, and it is walking. Yep, just walk. If you want a brisk walk, you want to just stroll, you want to do interval training, which means you just probably just walk a little bit, then run a little, walk a little, then run a little. This simple exercise, this simple physical activity will give you all the benefits that we just mentioned. And when you do it in the open air, even better, because you get the sunlight, you get the fresh air, you get many blessings from that. But let's talk about it. There's other exercises as well that you can do. There's swimming, gardening, brisk walking, right? Chopping wood, bike riding, playing with your children outside with your grandkids. All of these things are physical activities that we can do. And depending on if you're a male or a female, this is a list of how much calories you can be burning in just 30 minutes. Fortunately, just about any kind of exercise that we do with some duration and energy is beneficial. So here are some moderate guidelines for you. You should be exercising most every day. And remember to always be drinking water. Make sure you're drinking your water, right? You don't want to exercise a whole lot and then not be rehydrating yourself. You want to also do it 30 minutes a day. And when we mention exercise, it doesn't have to be in the gym or walking or swimming. Sometimes we're just thinking of those things, but as we mentioned in the beginning, it could be gardening. Gardening is one of the best ways of getting your whole body in physical movement. And if you've never tried it before, I really recommend it. You will see what I'm talking about. I have done it in the past, and I did it the other day as well. And just bending down to pick up some cloves or pick up some flowers or whatever it is will keep you in a position where you have to be using all your muscles. And so it is just very beneficial to our bodies. So just 30 minutes a day. And also keep in mind, it doesn't have to be boring, because that's something that I thought in the beginning. Oh, I don't want to be just lifting weights. I only like to swim. I only like to ride the bike. So those were the only things that I would do. But I had to get myself into a certain mindset where if I'm going to do the exercise, first of all, I have to be engaged. I have to be interested. And it has to be fun to me. And so I started where I thought, I'm going to enjoy it. If I feel like I'm not going to enjoy it, then I'm most likely not going to be motivated to do it. So you're going to want to pick things, physical activities that you are interested in and go from there. And then later on, if you want to introduce something that you're not usually fond of, then you can go ahead and introduce that once you've already been entered into that cycle of doing exercise. And you can also split it. Sometimes when you think about it, 30 minutes or 40 minutes a day, that's a whole lot of time. I don't have that period of time in my schedule for the day that I can allow for that. Well, it's okay. You can just split it up. So take those 30 minutes and let's say you can have your breakfast in the morning and then have a digestive walk afterwards. And all that means is after you have your breakfast, you walk for, let's say, 10-15 minutes right after you have your meal. And that will help you not only with digestion, but it will help you so that you can get in that exercise time for the day. And so you do that after every meal. Let's say you have 2 or 3 meals a day. That's 30 to 45 minutes of exercise, which really didn't cost you much of your time because you split it up and you've gotten your exercise for the day. So it can be done. We just have to find ways around it so that we can incorporate more movement throughout our day. There's a study that was done with some individuals that are from the ages of 20 to 82, and it included, it was only for men, and there were 3 groups that they had for this study. The first group was a group of fit men, and they had already had an exercise regular schedule, and they continued on that regular schedule on their good habit. And there was a second group, and this other group had not been on an exercise schedule, okay? They had never been motivated to start, and they were the second group. Then we have the third group. They started out as unfit, but became involved in regular exercise. Okay, so here we have it. A fit group, one group that has never been physically active or done any type of exercise and wasn't motivated to do any exercise. And then they have the third one, which was never physically active, right? It wasn't on an exercise regimen or anything like that, but they started to go ahead and get involved in exercise routines. And so here is what the study revealed when they studied these 3 groups for 10 years, okay? Let's look at their death rate. The fit, they found that there had been only 40 deaths. But when you compare that, this is within those 10 years, then you have the unfit group, the group that was not motivated to do exercise and really just stayed with a sedentary lifestyle. Within that 10-year period, 122 of those individuals passed away. So this was 3 times more deaths than those who were fit. But now we go to good news, right? Because the majority of us fall into that group in which our past has not been one of a fit person, right? We have not been doing exercise all our lives. We are not gymnasts, we're not athletic, we're not, we've done here and there very rarely or whatever, but we fall into that third category where we find out that exercise is necessary and we want to do more of it. And so, we want to start incorporating it in our lives regularly. And so this is that group that decided that they were going to begin a regimen of exercise, and this is what showed up. 68 of them passed away, but those who had been, it was 50% less deaths than those who remained unfit. So you have those who were fit had 40 deaths, those who were unfit and made no changes, 122 deaths, and then you have those who in the past were not physically active on a regular basis and made that change, and they cut their death rate by half. That is amazing. That tells us that we have hope and we can make changes, and our future doesn't have to look dim or grim. It can really be improved by the choices we make today. So we need to look for opportunities. Like I told you before, I was not a fan of exercise. And I must say that I was surprised when a couple weeks ago, I was just in the mood of doing exercise, and I went to the class, to the gym area, and when I went there, I was skipping and I was excited about doing exercise. And I said, wait a minute, who's this walking by here or walking into the gym? This is not Valerie. I do not like exercise. But let me tell you, I was so excited because it is such a blessing. The feeling of being active, the feeling of having a clear mind, the relaxation, the hope of a better future, the knowledge of that God is with you and that you don't have to stay the same. You don't have to be satisfied with the condition in which you are, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever it is. There is improvement every single day, and all we need to do is put our effort into it, and the Lord blesses. I saw how my little effort actually made changes, and I'm like, Lord, but this is all I did. And I said, well, I know that it was Him. I know that it was Him working in my life and in my body as well. So looking for those small opportunities. I don't like to walk, but I'm just gonna choose today. I'm not gonna drive to work. I'll walk to work if it's in close enough distance, or maybe just walking half of the distance. Making little differences in your life, changes in your habits and your routines that will cause you to do more physical activity. This is one example of that. You're going to work, and maybe usually you just take the elevator. Instead of taking the elevator, take the stairs. Take up a hobby that you've never done before, like gardening, like we were talking about before, or go out there with the children and get crafty with them. If you're a father with a couple children, go ahead and do some carpentry if you like carpentry. Do something active with them that you will be able to enjoy time with your family as well as be physical at the same time and receive benefits, not only yourself, but your children as well. This will help with strengthening not only your physical being, but also your relationships between you and your family. God made us to benefit from exercise, and we've spoken about all the benefits that we can receive from exercise today, and there is so many more. Even in heaven, we will have a garden, and there will be a vineyard to exercise in. Let's follow God's plan and be sure to incorporate some form of regular exercise in our lives. And this is the promise, Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. May the Lord bless you, your every effort, and I know that He will.
Welcome to exercise class today. This is our fun class, the class where we get to use our hands and our feet and hopefully sweat a little bit. Some important things to remember as we go through this stretching and exercise routine. One is you want to remember to stretch before you exercise each time to prevent injury, right? And you can use the handout provided for stretching. And two, we want to remember to breathe properly. So you may notice that or you may start feeling lightheaded, or your face may start feeling flushed a little bit during your exercise. That's a sign for you to go back and breathe. Breathing is almost just as important as the exercise itself. So we'll go through our routine maybe 2 times. If you want to go longer than that, that's up to you. You can go anywhere from 1 to 4 times, whatever your tolerance will allow. I'm going to be using dumbbells just to add a little more resistance. We have dumbbells available there. If you don't have dumbbells, you can simply fill up 2 water bottles and use those as dumbbells. But as always, let's begin with a word of prayer. Father in heaven, thank you for this day of life. Again, we thank you for the blessings of the day today. And we thank you for this time that we have, that we can partake of physical exercise, which is good for our bodies and our minds. And we ask that you will be here with us and that you will add your blessings to this time. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. So what do we want to remember as we stretch and we exercise? Breathe. Okay, so we'll go right into our stretching exercises. We're going to start by putting our arms out to the side, and then we're going to want to go in forward circles 10 times. And with these circles, you want half of the circle to be in front of your body and half to be in back. So you're getting the full range of motion. And as we go, you want to make the circles larger. Okay, so I think I lost count. We're probably nearing 10 now. And it's going to be the same way on the way back. So now we're going to point our fingers inwardly and go in reverse. Again, half of the circle in front of our body, half behind. And 4, 5, 6, larger as you go, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. You can shake it off a little bit. Our next stretch is we're going to put our hands behind our head, and then you want to flare your elbows back. And you should feel a stretch in your chest area if you're doing it right. We're going to hold that for 20 seconds. And remember to breathe, always to breathe. Feel the stretch. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, good. Our next stretch, we're going to bring our right arm and bring it up over on top of our head. Elbow facing up as high as you can, and then grab your elbow with your left hand and pull the stretch. Do you feel the stretch there? So you're going to want to pull your right arm towards the left side of your body. And again, we're holding for 20 seconds. Remembering to breathe, and 10 more seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, and now switch sides. Left arm up over the head, grab your elbow with your right arm and pull, and you can even lean into the stretch. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, good. You can shake that off. Did you feel the stretch there? Good. Okay, our next one, we're staying in the upper body. We're going to take our right arm and bring it across our chest. Then with our left arm, you're going to want to secure right above your elbow. So near your triceps, and pull in with your left arm, keeping your right arm straight. And you're going to, if you're doing it right, you're going to feel a stretch in your shoulder area. And we'll hold that for 20 seconds also. You feel the stretch in your shoulder area? Good. Remember to breathe. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, and let's switch sides. Left arm over the chest, right arm right above the elbow, and pull in. You're going to want to keep your left arm straight. There you go. Good. And we'll hold that for 20 seconds. Okay, good. Shake it off. Our next stretch is we're going to, some of us are breaking sweats already. Okay. Our next stretch is we're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears and roll them forward. We're going to do that 10 times, starting now. 1, 2, 3. You may hear crackling. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now in reverse. 1. Remember to breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. How do you feel? Okay? Stretched a little? Okay, our next stretch it's a simple one. You're going to turn your head to your left as far as you can. Hold it there for a couple seconds. Good, and now turn it the other way to the right. Okay, back to the left. And to the right. Okay, now look straight and turn your look up towards the ceiling. And now down towards your toes. You can even help yourself a little if you want to push your head down with your hands. Okay, and then back up towards the ceiling. And down to the toes. Okay, great. Now we're going to transition to our lower body. So what you're going to want to do, if your balance isn't that great, you're going to want to find something you can lean on or hold on to. And you're going to bring your right leg, your foot up towards your backside and grab either your foot or your ankle. If you can do it standing in place without holding, that's fine. And you should feel a stretch along your thigh muscle. Remember to take deep breaths to allow oxygen to go to the muscle there. And we'll hold for 20 seconds. Feel the stretch? You see how I'm bringing my leg all the way up. If you can only go here, that's fine. Whatever your body allows you to do, as long as you feel a stretch there. Okay, and we're going to switch legs now. And 20 seconds. Okay, good. Next stretch, we're going to stretch out our hamstrings. So what you're going to want to do is put your right foot forward, face your toes up to the ceiling as much as you can, and then you're going to bend your left leg and push your backside out while keeping your right leg straight. And you should feel a stretch along your hamstrings there. And we'll hold that for 20 seconds. Do you feel the stretch there? Yeah. For a lot of people, this is one muscle that tends to be very tight. Sometimes we'll switch legs, switch sides. A person may be experiencing lower back pain, and it may be the result of having tight hamstrings and glutes. And we'll hold for 20 seconds. Remember, push your backside out. Five more seconds. Okay, very good. Next stretch, we're going to stretch our calves. What you're going to want to do is take a long step forward and keep the heel of your left leg behind you or your right leg, whichever is back, on the ground, and you're going to want to lean forward onto your forward leg, keeping your back heel on the ground, and you should feel a stretch in your calf muscles. If you can't do that, what you can do is put your foot up against the wall or some other object and keep the heel on the ground and lean forward. And you would feel a stretch in your calf that way also. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, and we're going to switch sides. Remember to breathe, deep breaths as much as possible. Heel on the ground and lean forward. We'll hold for 20 seconds. Okay, good. Next stretch, we're going to want to step out to the side with your right leg, keeping your left leg straight, and bend your right leg, and you can lean on your thigh while keeping the left leg straight, and you should feel a stretch on the inner part of your thigh. We'll hold for 20 seconds. Do you feel that stretch right in here? Deep breaths, good. Okay, and now let's switch sides. Okay, and final stretch here. You're going to want to stand feet shoulder width apart and put your hands on your hips or your waist, and then turn to one side and then lean into that turn. And you should feel a stretch right above your hip there. Do you feel this stretch? Okay, good. We'll hold for 20 seconds. Okay, you can switch sides. Turn to the side and lean into it. And we'll hold for 20 seconds. Five more seconds. Okay, very good. And you can shake that off, and we'll get right into our exercise routine. So this is a low to moderate intensity, low impact exercise routine. So this is one that's good for all ages. And the goal is to try to get our heart rate up while keeping it at a moderate intensity, low impact level. So as I said, I'm going to use dumbbells. These are 5-pound dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells at home, again, you can use water bottles. You can fill them with water. And again, you want to remember to breathe as we go through this routine. Okay, so if you're ready, we're going to start by bringing our knee up, left knee up, our right knee up, and then a kick forward and a kick forward. And we want to do that for 30 to 40 seconds continuously. You ready? Knee, knee, kick, kick. Knee, knee, kick, kick. Knee, knee, kick, kick. The higher you can get your knees, the better. The higher you can get your kicks, the better. Kick, kick. 10 more seconds. Knee, knee, kick, kick. Knee, knee, kick, kick. Knee, knee, kick, kick. Good. Okay, we'll go into our second move here. You're going to want to bend a little at the knees, and you're going to punch forward, and then do a hook and a hook. Punch, punch, hook, hook. We're going to do that for 40 seconds. Punch, punch, hook, hook. Punch, punch, hook, hook, punch. Remember to breathe during the exercise, and you kind of want to be pivoting at the hips. You don't want to be knees locked like this. You want to be pivoting, knees slightly bent. Punch, punch, hook, hook. 15 more seconds. And one tip I can give you is during each of the exercises, you want to activate your core. So try to keep your stomach muscles tight while still remembering to breathe. 5 seconds. Hook, hook. Okay, very good. We'll transition into the next exercise. This is called a posterior swing. And we're going to want to bend forward and lean forward by tightening the abdomen. You can use your dumbbells. I'm going to use both of mine actually. And keep your back straight, head up, and you're going to want to bring your arms all the way up while keeping your back straight. Remember to breathe, and full extension. Chin up, back straight. And this is really good for your core, for your abdomen, for your lower back, even your hamstrings. Remember to keep the core activated. Tighten the abs while remembering to breathe. Okay, 10 more seconds. Okay, very good. You can kind of shake that one off. If you're sweating, you can wipe that sweat a little bit. And we're going to transition right into our next exercise, which is opposite leg and arm raise. So you're going to want to raise your right leg and your right arm, your left leg, and then your left arm, right leg, as high as you can get them. And we'll do that for 40 seconds. Just do your best. If you can't raise them that high, it's okay. Just as high as you can raise them. If you need to put the dumbbells down and go with no weight, you can do that also. 10 more seconds. If all you can do is one arm or one leg, that's fine too. It's also a brain workout, right? Yes. Okay, this one's a little more simple. So again, you're going to pivot, keep back straight, tighten your ab muscles, and you're going to want to churn from one side, keeping your knees bent, and churn to the other. Nice and controlled. Okay, 10 more seconds. You feel that in your core? Remember to breathe. Okay, very good. The next move we're going to do, you're going to want to find a wall to lean against, and these are called mountain climbers. What you're going to do is lean against the wall, putting your weight, your lean with your hands against the wall, and bring one knee up to the chest as high as possible, then the other. And we'll do about 40 seconds of that. Knee up to the chest as high as possible. Remember to breathe and remember to keep your core engaged. Okay. Very good. Very good. So we'll march in place for a few seconds. Try to get your knees up. Get your arms involved there. Remember to breathe. Okay, the next one's pretty fun. I like the next one. It could be a little more challenging. What we're going to do is stand, feet a little more than shoulder width apart, and you're going to do a punch, and then a squat, and come up. And the way you squat is you're going to want to shift your weight to your heels and push your backside out. So your knees are not supposed to go in front of your feet. You want to keep everything behind your feet. So shift weight to your heels and push your backside out while keeping your chin up and your back straight. You ready? We'll do 10 of those. Okay, so feet a little more than shoulder width apart, toes pointing forward, punch, punch, squat. 1, punch, punch, squat. And remember to keep your core engaged. That's 3. Breathe. 4. Punch. Squat. 5. 6. 7. Let's hold these last 3 squats a little longer. 8. 9. One more, last one. 10. Okay, how was that? Good. March in place. We'll march in place for 45 seconds. Knees up as high as you can get them. We want to save some energy in our thighs because tomorrow we'll have some more exercise for those. Remember to breathe. Okay, and now what you're going to do is pretend there's an imaginary line there. Step over it and then back. For back, back, over, over, back, back. There you go. Back, back, over, over, back, back, over, back, back. The faster you can go, the better. You'll notice that you usually lead with one foot, right? You step forward with your left, and then you lead backwards with your left. Try stepping forward with your left, and then leading with your right on the way back. Kind of test your brain a little. Right? Not as smooth. Okay, good. Next one, side to side punches. Bend at the knees again. Have your core engaged, and you're going to punch to your right, keeping your core nice and tight. Punch to your left. We'll do that for 40 seconds. And you want it to be nice and controlled, nice and slow. You should feel it in your core. Yes, cold showers are recommended. We have 2 more moves after this. Okay, our next one is called Good Mornings. What you're going to want to do is bring your arms up about ear level, feet shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider than shoulder width. And you're going to lean forward, keeping your back straight and your face straight. So you don't want to lean up. You're going to lean forward like this. And then come back up while keeping your core nice and tight. And we'll do 10 of those. Ready? Down, up, 1. Down, up, 2, 3, remember to breathe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. March in place, 45 seconds. Try to get your knees up. Get your arms involved. What time does your next class start? 10:15. Okay. Okay, our last move. This one's called staggered butt kicks. And this is good for your hamstrings and your glutes. So you're going to want to put your left leg forward and extend your right leg backward and bring your left arm up also. The dumbbells aren't necessary on this one. So left foot forward, left arm up, back foot out. Then you're going to want to kick your backside with your heel, just like that. Okay, got it? We'll do 15 of those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Switch sides. Right foot forward, right arm up, left leg extended back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. And you can kind of wiggle it off, walk it off. You did a good job. You can do your marching with your curls. So usually you're going to want to go through this routine once, twice, 2, 3 times. For today, we're going to stop at 1 for the sake of time. But again, if you can go through it 2 or 3 times, taking maybe a 2 to 3 minute break in between each routine, that's the goal. You can swing your arms. And we'll finish with some arm circles. Forward, and then backwards. Some of these. Okay, and you can just shake it off. How do you feel? Sweaty? Okay, let's close with prayer, and then we can depart. Father in heaven, we thank you again for this time to exercise and to get these endorphins going to help us feel better. And we ask that you will add your blessings to this time, and may we be able to see improvements in our health as we continue to take part in this physical exercise. May your blessings go with us today. I pray in Jesus' name, amen.